Delaware County's only live television newscast from Ball State University's Unified Media Newsroom. You're watching NewsLink Indiana Midday.
Welcome to NewsLink Indiana Midday. I'm Brendan Mullet. This is the first full day of jury deliberations in the case of the man accused of killing 2 girls in Delphi 7 years ago. Richard Allen's fate now rests in the hands of the jurors. Deliberations began Thursday afternoon for the man accused of killing Libby Gurman and Abby Williams in 2017. The Carroll County prosecutor told the court in the week-long trial that Allen had repeatedly confessed to the murders on the phone and in person. He said that Allen is, quote, the bridge man, end quote. Allen's attorney says he was innocent, citing no DNA from Allen at the scene or witness identification. Allen could face up to 130 years in prison if he's convicted. For the first time in U.S. history, a woman is set to be the White House Chief of Staff. President-elect Donald Trump says he's giving his campaign manager the powerful job. Amy Kiley reports she has decades of political experience and appears well-respected in the GOP.
This signals that the second coming of Trump presidency is going to be very different.
President-elect Donald Trump says he's naming his 2024 campaign manager, Susie Wiles, as his White House Chief of Staff. The decision is historic.
She's the first female chief of staff, which when I heard that today, I was like, wow, like that has never happened before.
Wiles is a seasoned Republican strategist and lobbyist. She's also one of Trump's longest-serving advisors.
Susie likes to stay in the background. She's not in the background.
Trump credits Wiles with helping him win re-election. He says as chief of staff, she'll make the country proud.
Chief of staff is very effective if the feeling around Washington is that chief of staff has the confidence of the president. And the fact that they've developed this close relationship, very important.
A source says Wiles had conditions for accepting the second highest job in the West Wing. The person says she wants to control access to the president to prevent unofficial advisors from swaying him.
This is really setting the tone for the entire administration because it is clear that she is someone who is taken seriously in Republican circles, particularly not just the MAGA side of things, but also the establishment side.
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
Dozens of Israeli soccer fans were beaten in Amsterdam following a Europa League game Thursday night. Multiple violent clashes broke out after Dutch side Ajax beat Israel's Maccabi Tel Aviv. Amsterdam's mayor said criminals on scooters searched the city for Maccabi supporters and hit-and-run attacks. According to authorities, 20 to 30 people were injured. 5 were treated at a hospital and then released. In total, 63 people have been arrested. Dutch officials condemned the violent clashes as anti-Semitic attacks. Tensions had been rising in the lead up to the match because of the ongoing war in Gaza. The Internal Revenue Service released its 2024 financial report this week, and there's a big number in it. During the first year, the IRS collected more than $5 trillion in tax revenue, more than $98 billion in enforcement revenue, and it distributed $53 billion in federal tax refunds. This year's tax revenue was an increase from the fiscal year of 2023. Last year, the IRS collected nearly $4.7 trillion in taxes. The First Gen Week at Ball State has cultivated an experience for students to bring all the first-generation students and staff together. NewsLink Indiana's Evan Schott sat down with the coordinators to learn what this means for the university.
The Multicultural Center has held different events geared toward first-generation students and staff. One of these events was the hashtag First2Fly Resource Fair in the Student Center Cardinal Halls A and B. Assistant Dean and Director of Student Success Treyon McClendon claims the purpose of these events is to bring awareness of the center's services.
The purpose is to really make sure that we are actually scaling our resources to our students so that they can get the word out, so that they know that these things exist, especially as a first-gen student.
Many first-generation college students come from many backgrounds, such as different cultures or socioeconomic statuses. McClendon hopes to break down social silos to bring the resources that students need.
First-gen students, they often sometimes find themselves in a place where they're actually siloed in nature, and so we want to dismantle those silos to really bring the resources to the students.
McClendon says each event over the past week has been met with great success with bringing awareness and bringing the meaning of being a first-generation student. He shares his mission when both on the scene and in the classroom.
Oftentimes, what I tell my students inside of the classroom is to go forth and be great. And not only do I say it, I want to make sure that my students hear me and that they know that I mean it when I say it, so they can really go forth and be great.
McClendon feels proud of the work he and his colleagues were able to do for first-generation students. Through all of their efforts, they were able to do what McClendon calls true heart work. In Muncie, Evan Schatz, NewsLink, Indiana.
There's good news for hardcore fans of A Galaxy Far, Far Away. A new Star Wars trilogy from writer-producer Simon Kinberg is in the works. Lucasfilm says the project is in the early development phase, and there's been no official word regarding plot details. Kinberg previously wrote and produced several X-Men movies. This series follows the conclusion of the original 9-chapter Skywalker saga in 2019. Lucasfilm also has additional Star Wars projects on the way. Let's take a look at today's NewsLink Indiana weather. These are the conditions right now. It's 55 degrees under mostly sunny skies. Expect more sunshine today with a high in the low to mid 60s. If you like today, you'll like the 7-day forecast. Expect fall-like temperatures in the 50s and 60s. The next significant chance of rain comes on Sunday. The Ball State football Cardinals have the weekend off after a tough loss to Miami of Ohio on Tuesday night. Even when things are looking bad, no matter what, players rally around each other. And NewsLink Indiana's Dakota Atwood reports in the case of some injured Cardinals. It's all in the numbers.
I'm thankful that it could have been a lot worse than it is right now.
The injury bug has been infectious, but for two Ball State receivers, it's created a bond over the number 2.
Well, it means a lot for someone to want to represent that number that that I was wearing, do good for it. So me and Justin are really close. We've got to talk, and he's been injured as well, like I said. So we've got to spend a little bit more extra time together in the training room or whatever it is. But
receiver Ty Robinson, who normally wears number 2, was injured in a previous game, but for receiver Justin Bowick, it was an opportunity.
It gives me an extra, push, play for him. By wearing his number, try to make him proud, seeing 2 out there on the field making plays.
Injuries have played a big role in the two Cardinals, but Robinson mentioned he sees himself on the field through Bowick.
That's a good feeling, it just makes me happy, it just motivates me to keep out there making plays and, just keep making him proud.
Robinson says he's in good spirits after the season-ending injury. As for Bowick, he had a career night against Miami, Ohio. He went for 8 receptions, 171 yards, and a touchdown for the Cardinals. In Muncie, Dakota Atwood, NewsLink, Indiana.
The Cardinals play again next Tuesday night against Buffalo. And that's your NewsLink webcast for today. Thanks for joining us. Be sure to join us tonight at 6:57 on Ball State PBS. And for news anywhere, anytime, go to ballstatedaily.com.